like because I didn't eat dinner. A lot of these streams kind of come up. Key Food's still around. There's a Key Food near me. Oh man, yeah. I'm not. I don't normally eat this late. But yeah, I could. That's what I have to. When I was in really good shape, like back pre-pandemic, like let's say 2017, 2018, right around there. And I actually did something. I'm trying to get back into this because it actually worked. And I don't know if it was like a placebo effect, but Perry always talked about bulletproof coffee, and I tried it when I was like really trying to lose weight, because I'm not a person, if you see me, I'm not a person that carries extra weight well. There are some people that can just be heavy, or they could be overweight or whatever, and they distribute it well. I don't. It goes to me, I'm just a skinny Irish dude, and if I have extra weight, I'm just a fat skinny guy with a beer gut and extra weight in the face, but it doesn't distribute anywhere else. So I got to be real careful, and then when I get lazy and go off the reservation, it takes forever to course correct. But when I was doing that, I was doing bulletproof coffee in the morning, which is again, I've talked about it on the air with Perry. It's a meal replacement. And that's what it was. I would do that in the morning, and it would almost be like a pre-workout shake, and I'd go to the gym, and then I'd have lunch, like a reasonable lunch, nothing carby, like even like tuna salad from a deli or something like that, just eat it out of the thing, and then have like a reasonable dinner. And then once a week have like a cheat, bullshit cheat thing. Frank says, you went to the restaurant. They invented the Reuben in Omaha. It wasn't great, and I love Reubens. Yeah, it's bad when you get a bad Reuben. I also don't like open-face Reubens. I like a closed-face Reuben. But yeah, COVID just kind of just blew it off the hinges because, I lost my job. The world seemed like it was coming to an end. And there was a lot of stress because I had to take care of Perry and everything. And I was just like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to... And then all the gyms closed. Even the gym in my building where my apartment was, even that closed. Wavy G, can we get Tony, a.k.a. Mole, on the stream? F Kimmel and F Barris. I would love Mole. I would too. Maybe. I think if Kimmel ever retires and that goes away, maybe. I think that's, I don't know. I would love that. I don't know if it's just me, but watching some old Big Three stuff, it seems like Don actually didn't like Perry. Yes, that was true. The way he talked to Perry felt way more mean-spirited than I remember. Yeah, I mean, without getting too into that, you're right. And I can never... I used to love Big Three. I can never... I can't ever listen... I can't even watch Windy City Heat at this point, which is a shame because it's still technically my favorite comedy, funny and everything like that, but the guy really is a piece of crap. He really is, and it sucks that Perry had to be stuck with that lot. Later says my face looks better with weight on it. Okay, well, varying opinions. I still like Kimmel for giving Perry his first platform. Mole is a comedy genius. F Barris though. Yeah, I agree with that. Kimmel, I may say things sometimes like Kimmel, whatever, but yeah, Kimmel did give him a platform. Kimmel did do a lot behind the streams. I just wish he would have done a little bit more when shit hit the fan. But I was thinking of ways to monetize him a little bit. Before this came about, PCL, but I was thinking Patreon. Maybe we could post some. Everybody has a Patreon, and at the time I would pitch that to Don, and he'd be and Don would be like, "No fucking way, no fucking way, we're not doing that." Well, what about getting Perry on Cameo? That would do something. Cameo. No fucking way. No, that's not going to happen. Fuck him. And then eventually Jimmy said something. And this was during the pandemic. I don't even know if Jimmy Kimmel Live was on the air. This was May of 2020. And then because again, Jimmy is the guy that's like all these people that work for Jimmy. They all like they all bow down to him, because he's the boss, obviously, and what he says goes. And he made the declaration: Perry should be on Cameo. Perry needs to be on Cameo, and he said that to Don. And then Don called me. He's like, "So I was talking to Jimmy, and Jimmy thinks that Perry needs to be on Cameo." And I could tell like he's saying that with gritted teeth, but he hated it. But that was my opener. I was like, oh, okay. Well, now it's okay. Which is ridiculous when you really think about it. Why the fuck do I have to beg for Perry to make his own, way? Everybody else that worked with Big Three, they were okay. Like, they all had jobs with Kimmel. They could do it. So why can't Perry? Why can't Perry do his own solo thing and then also do Big Three stuff, but just do his own solo thing? So anyway, but Jimmy, now just forget about anything I've ever said about it. Now it's Jimmy's idea. Oh, well, Jimmy's idea. Oh, absolutely. So let's get it done. So I got it done. And thanks, shout out to a friend of mine, Mark, who's a fan of the stream. Now he actually helped get Perry on Cameo, because Cameo had all these things where you have to have X amount of followers on Twitter to get on Cameo. But he got on Cameo, and when he first went on Cameo, it was like a boom. Why couldn't Perry just do Cameo regardless of Don? Did Don have control over his bank account or something? No, absolutely not. It was just that's the way it was. You lived in fear, like of you didn't want to do anything that Don would get pissed off, because Perry's his property. And even though things are really bad, and I was just like, listen, I can't do this anymore. I am not making any revenue right now. I am literally paying my bills off of my savings, and then I'm dipping into accounts, savings accounts and like money market accounts, without getting into all the ins and outs of it, that I shouldn't have to. Because so F this. So then Perry got on Cameo, and it was actually pretty, like, it was an explosion when Perry went on Cameo. This is June 2020. He goes on Cameo the first time. He had like 200. I mean, I'm talking maybe just shy of 200 in the first week alone. It was maybe maybe that's an exaggeration, but it was a lot. It like we were inundated. He's the one who was like, all right, F this OnlyFans stuff. Like, that's when he got into. I had known him prior to that, but he got in touch with me. He's like, no. This is bigger than this. You got to go. He's got to go on Twitch, and it was Twitch before YouTube. And I was very hesitant about that because I knew I was going to get shit, and I was beyond this point of asking permission. I wasn't going to go to Don and be like, so this thing on OnlyFans is going really good. So what do you think of Perry streaming on Twitch? Because I know the answer would be like, no fucking way. Fuck that. No fucking way. No fucking way. Maybe me, Mo, and Perry can do something on my thing, and maybe I could throw him a few. But that's what would happen. So I was beyond. I was done asking permission. Asking permission for Perry to make his own living. By the way, I wasn't doing that anymore. So it just happened. We just did it, and I knew there was going to be some fallout from it, and there was. But there was no denying that it was good. It was good for Perry, and it was also good for Big Three at the time, because it was generating a new audience. And Mole saw that. Jimmy saw that. Don, not so much. And that's where it went from there. And that's why I get annoyed when people like, Big Three loyalists are like, Tom ruined the Big Three, which you have no idea how much of a soldier I was for that, and how much I loved it so much, and really, really just did everything to make it work. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal like I'm some saint and I should have a statue or whatever. I'm not. But that's how it was, and, there was a lot of clashes. Don and Mole hated each other. I've said that before. Hated each other. And they'd always blame things on Perry, like, oh, the podcast is ending because Perry, blah, blah, blah. No, it was never Perry. It was always like they just couldn't get along, And I can go a whole thing about that, but I'm not going to. But anyway, so PCL takes off, Perry does his own thing, and both are happening simultaneously for a while. Jim says it right there. We bent over backwards to accommodate Big Three in the beginning. They would call in, and they didn't quite necessarily get the flow of a live stream. Perry still did the monthly podcast. We plugged their stuff, and I was more than happy to do both.
Big Three! See, that's fun.